All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and we back in this building with an update on Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford fight. It appears that Errol Spence Jr.'s team is worried that Terence Crawford is backing out of the fight because of the non-response that they have received from Terence Crawford's camp. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, giving you guys an update on what's going on with the Errol Spence-Terence Crawford fight. According to BoxingScene.com, shout out to BoxingScene.com, in an article that was written by Keith Eidick, very good writer, compliments to him for the work that he does, is that Errol Spence Jr.'s team is saying that they are concerned. His handlers are saying that they're concerned that Terence Crawford is not going to accept the fight, despite Errol Spence accepting all of the changes that have been made by Terence Crawford to get that fight done. Now, before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber, supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. Specifically, have to thank a whole bunch of Mike Kirkland, my guy, I'm gonna do Mike Kirkland this time, who's a big supporter of the channel, and Gregory Wyatt for continuing to support in the super chat during the live streams. Much appreciated. But all right, so here we go. According to Boxing Scene, Errol's Spence's representative sent back a revised contract to Terence Crawford's attorney early last month. Those working on behalf of Spence were optimistic that it would lead to a completing of consummation of the deal between the undisputed welterweight champions to finally fight in early 2003. However, and actually he said that most recent 3 changes the attorney requested, none of which were considered major deal points, were made. He hasn't responded, however, to Spence's representative in the 2 weeks since the contract was revised. And they're saying that their camp is now concerned wondering what the reason is for Terence Crawford's silence. Now, what could these particular issues be? As you recall, and I'm going to give you my conclusion on this because this makes it seem like what I was telling you guys before was the case. So, if you recall, Mike Coppinger came out with a report, shout out to Bernie the Boxer and other people that said the same thing, that Terence Crawford was looking for transparency into the finances related to the pay-per-view, and that was what was holding up the fight. Transparency and approval of expenses. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr. said that he did not believe that that was true, but whatever the case is, whatever those actual requests were, what they actually were, now Errol Spence Jr.'s team and his handlers, which would be Al Heyman, right, is his manager. That's his handler. The PBC is saying that we have agreed to everything Terence Crawford has asked for, and that is of the revisions that were out there. And we've been waiting to hear back from him, and we've not heard back from him for 2 solid weeks. Now, before it was, we're waiting on you, we're waiting on you, we're waiting on you. When is Errol gonna sign it? The ball is in his court. Well, now the ball is back in Terence Crawford's court. It's been in Terence Crawford's court for 2 weeks. Now, does that mean that Terence Crawford does not want the fight? I can't say whether that is the case or not. Cannot say that. But if he already accepted it and they were minor non-issues, then those guys, it shouldn't take 2 weeks to get that back. But more importantly, you shouldn't have to put media pressure on him to get him to respond, because that's what this is. And see, in the beginning of the video, or just a couple minutes ago when I told you that this is leading to what I thought the case was, please remember that on the Boxing Voice, shout out to the Boxing Voice with Ness, and the guys do great work over there. They had reported that Errol Spence Jr. was going to move on and fight somebody on November 19th with or without Terence Crawford. Because this negotiation and these conversations have been going on for a very long time. Now, after that is when all kind of leaks came out of Terence Crawford's camp about how they had agreed to everything, and they only had a couple minor revisions for transparency, and they were waiting on getting that back from Errol Spence Jr. And they did all of this in the public, right? Not in a phone call like, hey man, what's taking you so long to get back with me? Let me know what's going on, which people can do. They did it in the media, which makes me believe that was something to try to influence the outcome or at the very least the impression with everybody about who was the fault if the fight doesn't happen. So now you have Errol Spence Jr.'s team essentially doing the same thing, saying, look, we agreed to everything that they said. And we sent this back to them. And now they're giving a time frame that they've had it, which is 2 weeks. So these guys are now saying, look, man, we don't really think he wants this fight. They were looking to get this done and get this so that they could get a date set for early 2023. Now, this is somebody saying that now what is Keith Idec saying, and who is he saying is doing this? He's saying it is Errol Spence Jr.'s handlers. And like I just said, that means that's Al Heyman. So that's Al Heyman in the PBC. Those are his handlers. His manager is Al Heyman and his advisor is Al Heyman, right? So now maybe they're talking about Derek James, and Derek James is worried about whether or not he could be talking about Derek James as well. But if this is true, and then everything should be done. Terence Crawford says that he agreed to everything Errol wanted, and he just had a couple things that he wanted to change and he was waiting for Errol and those guys to do it. Now Errol's saying that their team is saying they did it. So that should be it, right? Why are you taking 2 weeks to do this? My personal opinion is that, man, doesn't look like Terence Crawford is that anxious to get this fight done. Like, it's pretty much along with the lines of what he said before, which was, that this fight will happen down the line and that fight is not that important to him. And I don't know, man, maybe he really didn't want to accept those monetary terms. So hard to tell, man. But I'm going to tell you for sure at this point in time, seeing as this negotiation has been going on since at least April, right? It doesn't seem like there's any urgency on Terence Crawford's side to get the fight done. Errol and those guys probably could have cut a while ago, but maybe I'm looking at it, in a fashion that's pro Errol, but it's hard for me. No, I mean, it's just my gut is what that is, man. That is a fight where if Terence Crawford is not getting the money that he really wanted, then he can't really back out of that fight for no good reason, right? If it's just the money, right? He can't, and so they're trying to find a way to not make the fight because the money's not right and the fight, but he doesn't want to be the one that's just going to turn the fight down because that may affect public opinion on him, because it seems like almost like a war at this point in time about, who's going to turn the fight down first. Just craziness. But anyway, that's the update. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.